Hello my senior friends, how are you? Fine? Very good. So, what about the lyrical ballads? Yesterday we were talking about that. Remember we covered how many points? 3 points, isn't it? First, the opening sentence of the preface to lyrical ballads. We can go a romantic credo, or romantic manifesto, or romantic theory, romantic poetics, versus poetics, anything you can call it, but it is an experiment. He said the lyrical ballads, it is an experiment. Isn't it? What experiment we have seen, need not repeat. The second point that we discussed yesterday was experiment. The preface as such is a defense. A defense of the theory upon which these poems have been written. What is the theory that also we have seen, isn't it? Yeah. Now the third point yesterday we discussed was the principal object of one after another defense comes, like a lawyer, so to say. Also, like a lawyer, he is defending his preface to the lyrical ballads, and then he says the points of defense begins here. First point we have already seen. What is that point of difference? Defense is the principal object. The principal object of these poems. What is the principal object we saw? That is to choose, to describe, to defamiliarize, and to make interesting ordinary language, ordinary incidents, situations in life that we come across, etc. Understand? Not tinge of, not coloring of city life or any civilization or satire or artificiality, and none of those things. Plain, simple, straightforward. That is the point. Okay? Sincere and honest. Okay. And today we will discuss the next point of defense, and that is, he is answering this question: why low and rustic life? Why did I choose low? Why? That's the next question. Why low and rustic life? Life and background. Why low and rustic life and background? He gives a few reasons for that. First reason he says that in a low and rustic life, in a rural background, you have got your elementary and essential passions of man. Elementary and essential passions of man find a fertile ground, a fertile place for developing and getting it mature. Your essential and elementary passions of man. There's plenty of scope for developing, plenty of scope for nurturing, plenty of scope for maturing. That's what he said. And what are these elementary and the essential passions of man? Like for example, you are thirsty, you want to drink water. That is an elementary passion. Passion means a strong desire, that's all. I have got a passion for painting means I have got a strong desire for painting. So, there you are. Or you have got another passion, elementary passion is to love. So you can love objects of nature. You can love simple people around you. In a city, what happens? If you approach a person saying that I am your friend, he may reject it. See, he may spurn our approach, advances. Understand? But in a rustic life or in a rural background, it is not like that. So you will be welcomed. That's the thing. Okay. And there again you have got your hunger. That is a basic passion. If you want to fulfill or satisfy your hunger, lots of things in a rural situation. You can go and pluck some fruits and eat. You can go and pluck some roots and eat. Some flowers and some flowers are edible flowers. Vegetables. So you have got your passions there. That is your animal passion, so to say. And there are other passions like love, to express your aesthetic, say you want to derive some aesthetic pleasure, like the sunrise, the green, the greenery, as Wordsworth himself has described the cluster of daffodils. You can love them, you can learn a lesson from them, fluttering in the wind, fluttering and dancing in the wind. It gives you emotional satisfaction. So, or you want to, you hear the music of the rivers, or music of the limpid streams. Understand that? The music of the pebbles, the lots of things. Or you can have direct contact with your livestock, your domestic animals. So essential and elementary passions of life. A human being finds plenty of space, plenty of scope, plenty of opportunities for developing and then nurturing and also maturing. Understand? Help them. That's one reason. Second reason is these elementary passions, essential and elementary passions of human beings can be easily incorporated with the forms of nature, the beautiful and permanent forms of nature. See, I'll tell you an example in the Thomas Hardy's novel, you remember, Egdon Heath. Egdon Heath is a character in Thomas Hardy's novel. When some changes happens in Egdon Heath, that same changes can be seen reflected in the characters in the novel. Understand? Egdon Heath. You remember that far from the madding crowd, and Bathsheba Everdeen and Gabriel Oak. No. So they incorporated. So when nature is happy, you are happy. When nature is sad, you are sad. So your moods and your movements and your life, everything is in a way guided by nature. So you and nature become one. You and nature are the two sides of a coin. You cannot live without nature, and nature cannot live without you. So such a situation. So two reasons he says. One, essential. These are words I am quoting. I didn't say quote, but these are essential and elementary passions taken directly from the text. Find expression. They can grow. They are incorporated with nature and the ways of nature. Understand? Two reasons. The third reason is he says, I have also chosen, he says, I have also chosen the language, the real language of men. The real language of men. He said, why? The answer is given. First reason he says is, in the real language of men in a rural setting is honest and sincere and straightforward. That's the thing. Because they all the hourly is hourly taken from the text. That word is taken. They hourly communicate with the best forms of nature. So they communicate their communication with the flowers, with the streams, with the rivers, with the trees, with birds, with the livestock, their animal, domestic animal. So they are always in communication with their surroundings. So the language is straight, the language is simple, the language is used by these humble people, that language is honest and the language is sincere. That is the reason I have chosen this language. Another reason he gives, a second reason for choosing this language or adopting this or using this language is, he says, it is devoid of any artificial expressions. It is devoid of vanity. It is devoid of elaborate expressions. It is devoid of dishonesty. The language expresses always truth. Truth is beauty, isn't it? Truth is beauty. So that is the second reason. And the third reason he says that this language it is permanent and philosophical. That is the reason. The language of the simple people, you might think that it is simple, but it is a permanent. Philosophical means it is permanent. Permanent and philosophical. Why? Because he says their language is a product of their repeated experience with different forms, different moods of nature. So their language. See, I'll tell you one thing. You remember in Gabriel Oak, that is far from the mining ground, Gabriel and the other farmers, they are making hay. And then suddenly there is the sky is overcast with clouds, and a frog comes in there. And it jumps this way and that way, making a particular sound. Looking at the frog, Gabriel said, it's going to be rain. Look at that. Just because the sky is cloudy, it may not rain. But the behavior of this behavior of this frog prompted him to say that it's going to rain. What I'm trying to tell you, this example is this: if you are in constant communion, if you are in constant communication with nature, then nature will give you many signs. Nature will give you many marks to tell you that certain thing is going to happen. Now this is possible only by repeated experience. I remember when I was a small, we did not have any watch clock on those days. That is, think of 1960s. And then in our place, local rural area. So, but looking at the position of the sun, not even looking at, just looking at this position of the sun shining, then the brightness or something of the sun. My father used to say, now it is 3 o'clock, and you go to a person who has a watch, exactly you will know that the time is exactly correct. Understand? So, people who are in constant communion, they are simple people, they know the moods of nature, they know the time of the nature, they know even those days, or good old days, there are no IMD. Then, but people used to predict June 26th, the monsoon, or May 29th, there will be onset of monsoon. Because repeated experience that they have. Understand? So therefore, this philosophical, and whatever they say is true also, because they supported the experience. These are 3 reasons is why I chose the language of the simple people, the humble village folk, the rural people. One reason he says one reason he says it is honest and sincere. The language is honest and. Second reason he says devoid of vanity and the elaborate expression. Third reason he says that it is permanent and philosophical because their language is supported by evidence, or their statements are supported by evidence from nature, and also they have got the backup of experience, their experience. Understand? So that question is answered. Question number 1, we have seen defense, like a defense lawyer. He is answering on this question. You ask the question, what is the principal object of your poems? Then he will say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then he said, why have you chosen this rustic life and simple language, real language? Rustic life and real language of men. Why? Language of men. Why have you chosen? Here we have got 2 reasons, and here he has got 3 reasons. These 2 reasons we have already seen. 1, I'll repeat it. 1, low and rustic life. So there you have got the essential passions and elementary passions. Elementary essential passions of human beings find a fertile ground. Understand? Second is that they can be easily incorporated with life, day-to-day life. And 3 reasons why real language is taken, real language of people. 1, it is honest and sincere. 2nd, it is devoid of vanity and artificial expressions. And 3rd, it is permanent and philosophical. Understand? I think that. Now, 3rd question. Question 1 answered. Question 2 answered. And question 3. What is the question 3? That is, I'm going to try to answer. That is, what is the purpose of this poem? What is the purpose? Why have you written this? Purpose. The purpose of this poem. What is the purpose of this poem? He says, categorically he says, if you read the text you will find, each of these poems has a worthy purpose. Each of these poems has a worthy purpose. And what is that worthy purpose? He says, I am a man of meditation. I always think long and deep meditation are full of feelings. And this long and deep meditation has made me to become excited when I see small, simple things. It can be making hay, or it can be somebody collecting leeches for livelihood, or it can be a cluster of what you call daffodils, or it can be somebody who is a traveler, somebody who is wandering alone, or it may be the story of Lucy. Understand? Such things. Then small things. God of small things you have heard. No? God of small things is a famous novel by Arundhati Roy. So like that, the small things. He is the poet of small things, you can say. Wordsworth is the poet of small things. So that I don't want big city life and bombarding words and things like that. But when I see these simple things, what happens to me is my heart is excited. Excited. That's why he says the definition follows: for all good poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. For means because of this. For, because all good poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Powerful feelings, then of a man who has greater organic sensibility. Not any man. A man who is possessed or who is gifted with greater organic sensibility and had thought long and deeply. Meditation. I remember when I was a student in Christian college in Indore, then staying in the hostel, when people, especially we who were doing literature, when we meet each other, we used to say that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotion. Only that much we will say. Whenever we say, oh, there is spontaneous overflow. So it was actually used in a word we must for the sake of fun, for making fun of others and so on. But the whole statement is like this. That is, for all good poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions. Of a man who has more than greater organic sensibility than others, and had also thought long and deep. The deep thinking, that is meditation. So you must have, your mind should be, say, the poet, the process of creation of the romantic poem is, your mind should be excited when you see small things. Maybe unimportant things, but it's very important for a poet. Just as people say, for a journalist should have nose for news. Wherever he sees, he must be like a dog smelling for news. Understand? So like that a poet. Small things, it should excite him. If it has to excite him, you should look at things with the spirit of love, with interest. If you have no interest, then there will be no excitement. These days you can see when there is road accident, see some people, what do? They go and take the photo of this in their mobile. They go away. They are not concerned about what is happening that person, the wounded person. Why? But you think of this Good Samaritan. Yesterday I told you the story. He was excited. He was excited in a very positive way. And so he was interested in that. He felt sympathy and empathy. Understand? So a poet should be like that. That is what he said. And what is my purpose? My purpose is to make other people also, see, to prompt them, or to persuade them, or to, what we must say, to encourage them to get excited, to become excited when they see small things like this. That's why he says, no, the examples he gives, that is, the maternal passion in the idiot boy and mad mother. He himself, in the essay, he gives examples of that. The feelings of a person who sees death just in front of you, the forsaken Indian. Understand? The forsaken Indian. Or when you see a skeleton of a dog, you think of its master, it must have gone, and his fidelity. See? Sold to the reaper. A woman standing all alone and reaping and singing. Now, how many of us would be excited when you see such a thing, such a sight? Or when you see the cluster of daffodils fluttering and dancing in the wind, he stops there and he is excited. Spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. He can have this. When he sees the leaves gather, yesterday also I gave this example in the Resolution of Independence, he is excited. He asks a double-bent person, the leaves gatherer, maybe a Ulysses. He has taken him to that level of Ulysses. Ulysses said, no, something of noble note can yet be done. Understand? So he continues his voyages. Like this man. When you meet the leaves gatherer and you listen to his story, then you think of Psalm 23. What is that? The Lord is my shepherd and I shall not want. So he trusts in God. His trust in God. His 22-carat trust in God. Yes. 916 trust in God. So that is a philosophy that can help you. So you are excited by that, not by the philosophy, but this person, this action there. Or it creates excitement. This is my purpose, he says. So what is my worthy purpose? For writing this poem, each one of these poems has a worthy purpose. And the purpose is this, when you should all become poets of small things. When you see small things, when you think comparatively, well, then other people, their incidents and events and situations which other people look at with indifference, you should look at it with sympathy. And it's not only that you see around you, but you can also feel abstract sympathy. And what is abstract sympathy? If you hear, when you hear that one Alvin, a small boy, drowned and he died. See that refugee influx, the picture was given in the newspapers, no? It was reported. You should feel sympathy for him. It should excite, you should be excited by that. There should be spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Understand that? And this is possible only if you have got a romantic heart. That is romantic. That is romanticism. That is romantic poetry. Understand? And this is what I want to teach you. That is what Wordsworth said. My purpose of writing these poems is this, that you also should be not only what is visible before you, that you see, but also faraway things about which you should feel sympathy, you should feel excited. Understand? A philosophy. That's what he said. And this is my worthy purpose. He says, it's very important these days. It's important all the time, but these days it's more important because industrial England, uniformity of jobs, overcrowded cities, people have no way to get excited. So what they do, they according to Wordsworth, they have left the good, great authors of the past like Shakespeare and Milton. They don't get any excitement out of them or their description. So they go after frantic novels and cheap German tragedies, he says. So I want to teach these people. So it is didactic in that way. Not teaching a philosophy, but making them feel, making them look at everything with the spirit of love. So this is my purpose. That is what I said. So we are answering these questions. What is the principal object we have seen? Why has he selected low and rustic life and real language of common men spoken by them? That also we have answered. Now we have said the purpose of this, to spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, then that is recollected in tranquility. So spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings don't stop there, but you subject it to meditation. Your mind becomes a smithy, and in that smithy there is a lot of processing. The processing should take place, not just to feel a kind of spontaneous feeling and forget about this. No, but in the smithy of the artist's mind, the smithy of the poet's mind, it should be processed. And when it is processed, you find philosophical lessons from that. Permanent lessons for life you will get. So here directly he says, humans, I just want to give them pleasure by giving excitement. Universal love, spirit of love. This is what I want to teach these people. I want to tell them that there are small things around you. All those small things. Look, every day you see the sunrise, isn't it? What is there? There is nothing new. But every day, every morning is a wonderful morning. If you look at it like that. You have what do you call it? Aha feeling. Small things, but something that is regularly happening, every day happening. But you have that feeling that will make life very fruitful and happy. Sometimes, probably you might have read in the papers, a husband and wife, they filed a case in a law court. They just want to die. The court should allow them to die. They are fed up with life. Why? Because if they had this romantic heart, they would never say that we want to die. Because each day is a wonderful day. Yes. Sometimes you may say that, sir, because you are saying like this, because you are healthy and you have got plenty of, not plenty of money, just enough money and to live, and you have got all the things. No, not at all. I have got 1,001 privations, but still I find life worth living and very beautiful, wonderful. It is a miracle. Understand that? It's a miracle. See, that is it. Even at this the point of death, what does Hamlet say? Hamlet says that the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveller returns puzzles the way. Make us rather suffer these ills which we have done to fight those that we know not. At least you can have that negative excitement. So that way you should look at life. And that is what this great romantic poet, that is his great contribution also. Democratizing poetry, democratizing diction, poetic diction. Understand? That is a great contribution we can say. So excitement. Listen. Okay. Now we come to the next point. Say that why my style is the special style, says what about my style? Why there is a difference in style of the neoclassicals and my style? It's simple, this is. It's because my style, I want to keep it simple and straightforward. Because I am writing this about simple people, honest people, sincere people, about their situations and their life. So I want to use the real life of, the real language of these people. No personifications, nothing like artificial poetic diction that is current now, that is appreciated now. But this is something new. Try this, you will see that. And he even calls that I don't very much agree to that. Whether I agree or not, it is immaterial, but he says the style of bad poets, the style of bad poets, you will not find here. You will not find any personification. You will not find any artificial words. You will not find any bombastic words. You will not find any special type of construction which you can find in the writings of some bad poets. That's what bad poets is another. It's that poetic diction which you are used to, you won't find here. So that is a big difference between that and this. This is simple. See, I'm writing about nature. And then a question of prosaism. See, some of my passages in the poem, they look like, they read like prose. Prosoisms are prosaisms. Yes. So that could be, you may get a short note on this, no? Prosaisms. Prosaisms used in romantic poetry. So you can see some of these are prosaic. And he says, prose is not anything, you cannot say that prose is secondary. Prose and poetry equal. See, that we also know. Look at Charles Lamb's prose, the poetic prose, isn't it? When he is describing all those incidents, no? That why he remained and his dream children. If you read a dream children, you will think that you are reading a poem. So mellifluously it flows. Melodious prose, you can say. Start reading it. You cannot stop reading until you finish it. That is poetic prose. So prosaism. Just because you write in prose, that doesn't mean it is anything inferior. No, not at all. Then he says, he takes the example of Thomas Gray. Thomas Gray, that poet who was so much concerned about craftsmanship. You can see when you read the poem, with what labor, how much labor he must have put in writing and adjusting all those stanzas. But Wordsworth says, even a poet so conscious about craftsmanship like Thomas Gray, he has used prosaism in his poems. He especially mentioned the sonnet on the death of Mr. West. That is right, published in 1742. So he says, you read, he has quoted that in there. And he says that, you see, this is like prose, but it looks very poetic. So he says, I justify prosaisms in my poetry. Understand? That's about style. And there is a concluding statement. It is a very strong and emotional one. He says in that essay, Preface, he says, there neither is nor can be any difference between poetry and prose. Understand? There neither is nor can be any difference between poetry and prose. Because he says both are addressed to the same person. The human blood circulates in both in the same way. That's what he says. So what does that mean? Maybe it's a high figurative language. Human blood circulates in both prose and poetry in the same way. And so he justifies his style. Style, justification of his style, he says, no personification, no type of prediction currently available or currently appreciated or supported, no artificial language, but I have used prose-like style or prosaism. There are many other, Milton has used it, he says. Shakespeare has used it, he says. So, then great, these writers they have used, and I am also using that. But and then finally he concludes saying that there neither is nor can be any difference between the language of poetry and the language of prose. Understand? Yeah. With that, we can conclude for today's discussion. 3 points we have seen. What are they? Today's special, we can see. Today's special is, first is that why law and rustic life, why real language of it. We have answered that. Second, what is the worthy purpose of these poems? The worthy purpose is to create excitement in the mind of the people, to create a feeling, a spirit of love in the mind of people, so that they take interest. They are moved by simple, small things of life, like that of the story of a lease gatherer. He is not a king or a queen. He is an unimportant person in that way, but he has got a deep and profound philosophy that supports him. So these people we should not think that they are small people, they don't know anything. Their experience with nature is far, far greater than or admirable than reading an experienced person who reads hundreds and hundreds of books on philosophy, Indian, Western, Eastern, and X. Understand? So there you are. So purpose. Style is it. I am using prosaicism. I am using language of the simple people because I am communicating to that group. See that? That kind of people. So prosaicism is not anything to be looked down upon, or it's not to be considered anything inferior. Because great others used it, I am using it, and then he concludes, there neither is nor can be any difference between language of poetry and language of prose. Okay? So with this we come to the end of today's discussion. Once again, we have seen so far, one, the lyrical ballads is an experiment. Second, the preface is a defense. Third, my principal object is to choose, to describe, to defamiliarize, and to make interesting these small things. And third, fourth, why low and rustic life and real language. Fifth, what is the purpose of my poem? Sixth, the style of this poem. Alright, I hope you are following me, you are enjoying these lectures, and if you enjoy, if you get benefit out of this, definitely you should tell your friends also. It's a support. I'm not saying that these are research papers or lectures based on what we must say is that profound lectures or thesis or something like that. But I am just making this as a. When I was a student, I had felt some difficulties in understanding critical theory. So then now I am a retired person, and so I thought that after putting in a lot of experience as a teacher, I should have some obligation to the young students who are going to become teachers in future, and therefore I have started this kind of series. You can expect all this right from now to already. I have, some of you might have seen my lectures on traditional individual talent, isn't it? Have you seen? If not, you must go through that because I have got some new ideas on that. I have even criticized the TSL based on the theory of causality put forward by Aristotle. Now, in case you are interested, you go through that, visit, watch those lectures, tell your friends also, and subscribe. Fine. Thank you.